Welcome. We bring you Japan's latest news every day. AI sums up what matters, so you can stay informed in English in just a few minutes. If you find it helpful, please like and subscribe. Woman transported unconscious after collision with jet ski in Ako, Hyogo. A collision between a jet ski and a person occurred on a beach in Ako, Hyogo Prefecture this afternoon. According to the fire department, a report came in around 12:30 p.m. that a jet ski had collided with a person on a beach in Suruga, Ako. Police say a woman in her 20s was transported to a hospital in an unconscious state as a result of the accident. As of now, the woman's consciousness has not recovered. Police are continuing their investigation into the cause of the accident and the details of what happened. There is a growing need for increased caution and awareness among jet ski users to prevent accidents at sea. Lighthouse at the tip of Noto Peninsula completes earthquake repairs and opens to public for first time. The Rakasaki Lighthouse, located at the northernmost point of the Noto Peninsula, has completed repairs from earthquake damage and opened to the general public for the first time since the disaster. The lighthouse, situated in Suzu City, Ishikawa Prefecture, is a historic facility built by Japanese hands over 140 years ago. During the New Year's Day earthquake, the facility sustained significant damage, including the collapse of the lens inside the lighthouse. Following detailed inspections by experts and careful restoration work, the facility has now been returned to a safe, usable condition. The reopened interior showcases the restored lens and the lighthouse's structure to visitors. The completion of repairs at this facility is being noted as a symbol of recovery in the disaster-affected region. Record-breaking rainfall in Ashikaga, Tochigi. 2 people found dead in collapsed house identified as couple in their 60s. 2 people died in a house that collapsed due to record-breaking heavy rainfall in Ashikaga City, Tochigi Prefecture, in the early morning hours of the 18th. On the 20th, the city announced that the deceased have been identified as a couple in their 60s who lived in the home. The region experienced intense rainfall, with 24-hour precipitation levels reaching the highest on record for the area. Currently, efforts are underway to assess the full extent of the disaster and provide support to those affected. Continued attention to weather information is advised. National High School Competitive Karuta Championship held in Shiga as students compete fiercely. The national championship to determine Japan's high school competitive Karuta champion is being held centered around Omi Shrine in Atsu, Shiga Prefecture, known as the Sacred Ground of Karuta. High school students gathered from across the nation are competing intensely as they aim for the top of competitive Karuta, a traditional Japanese sport. Competitive Karuta is a traditional Japanese sport based on the 100 poets, requiring both speed in capturing cards and intense concentration. Athletes face the cards with serious expressions, missing not a moment as they rapidly take card after card. The tournament is positioned as the pinnacle event in Karuta competition, with participants giving their all in the ongoing fierce battles. Charlie Chaplin's City Lights comes to life as traditional Bunraku puppet theater in Osaka. Charlie Chaplin's classic film, City Lights, has been reimagined as a traditional Japanese Bunraku puppet theater production. Performances began on the evening of the 18th at the National Bunraku Theater in Nipponbashi, Osaka. Based on the 1931 American film directed by and starring Chaplin himself, this masterpiece is now being expressed through Japan's traditional performing arts. The tragicomic story of a poor tramp who falls in love with a blind girl continues to be cherished across generations. The fusion of Bunraku's delicate puppet manipulation with traditional Japanese classical music creates a new charm distinctly different from the original film. This production, where Eastern and Western arts meet, promises to be a valuable opportunity for cultural exchange. UNESCO World Heritage Committee begins today. Asuka and Fujiwara palaces, expected to be registered. The UNESCO World Heritage Committee convenes in Busan starting today. The committee will deliberate on the registration of Asuka and Fujiwara palaces in Nara Prefecture, which Japan has nominated, and registration is expected to be approved. This archaeological site complex is a precious cultural heritage that exemplifies the center of ancient Japanese government from the Asuka period through the Nara period, and consists of multiple palace ruins and temple remains. If the site is successfully registered as a World Heritage Site, the number of World Heritage Sites in Japan will increase further. The committee is also scheduled to deliberate on registration proposals for cultural and natural heritage sites from various locations around the world. Citizens gather near Parliament to call for maintaining Article 9 of the Constitution. Citizens held a rally near Parliament as constitutional debates continue. Participants strongly called for the preservation of Article 9 of the Constitution and the maintenance of pacifism. As Prime Minister Tochigi has expressed enthusiasm for constitutional reform, both houses of Parliament's constitutional review commissions are advancing discussions on the establishment of emergency provisions. Citizens who gathered at the rally voiced the view that Article 9 of the Constitution, which stipulates the renunciation of war and military forces, is a crucial pillar for protecting Japan's peace. Concerns were also raised that adding emergency provisions could lead to an expansion of government authority. Since constitutional amendments require a national referendum, further nationwide debate on this matter is expected to expand in the coming months. Deputy Chief Cabinet Secretary Sato vows to inherit and advance former Prime Minister Abe's diplomatic policies. On the 4th anniversary of the shooting attack on former Prime Minister Abe, Deputy Chief Cabinet Secretary Sato made clear at a press conference his intention to inherit and further develop Abe's diplomatic policies. Under the leadership of Prime Minister Takaichi, Deputy Chief Secretary Sato indicated the government's commitment to continuously pursue important diplomatic initiatives championed by Abe, including the concept of a free and open Indo-Pacific. He also expressed his determination to evolve Japan's diplomacy into a more robust and strategic force while honoring Abe's legacy amid an increasingly complex international landscape. The government has stated that it will continue to fully commit itself to securing national interests and maintaining regional stability, with the diplomatic principles advocated by former Prime Minister Abe serving as its foundation going forward. Communist Party Chair Tamura calls on government to implement additional price hike countermeasures urgently. At a lecture held at the Communist Party headquarters, Party Chair Tamura expressed his view that the government needs to implement additional measures to combat rising prices without delay. Chair Tamura pointed out that the impacts on people's livelihoods are expanding due to the ongoing yen depreciation and prolonged Middle East tensions. Citing the situation where surging food and energy prices are putting pressure on household budgets, he argued that the government must implement sufficient countermeasures. The Communist Party has also indicated its intention to continue pressing the government on this issue going forward. New York crude oil market rises to over $85 per barrel, hitting highest levels in a month. In the New York crude oil market on the 19th, WTI futures prices, which serve as a benchmark for international trading, temporarily rose to over $85 per barrel. This marks the highest level since June 12, approximately 1 month ago. Behind this rise is the escalating situation in the Middle East. As tensions deepen between the United States and Iran, concerns about increased conflict risks in the Middle East region are prompting expectations of tighter crude oil supply and demand. Additionally, a recovery trend in global energy demand is supporting the price increase. The rise in crude oil prices may ripple through to energy prices such as gasoline and kerosene, and market movements going forward are being closely watched. Chuo Shinkansen maglev train construction to begin in Shizuoka Prefecture following agreement between Shizuoka and Junior Central. Construction of the Chuo Shinkansen maglev train line in Shizuoka Prefecture is finally moving forward. Shizuoka Prefecture and Junior Central signed a Natural Environment Conservation Agreement on the 18th a prerequisite for beginning construction. This agreement ends years of stalled negotiations and allows work within the prefecture to commence. The Chuo Shinkansen is a next-generation transportation infrastructure project targeting the opening of its Tokyo-Nagoya section in 2027. In Shizuoka Prefecture, the project includes tunnel construction through the southern Japanese Alps, raising concerns about environmental impact. The new agreement establishes specific measures regarding water resource preservation and ecosystem conservation. Based on this agreement, Junior Central plans to proceed with full-scale construction work. Apple raises iPhone sales prices in Japan by approximately 10%. American IT giant Apple has raised the sales prices of iPhones in Japan by approximately 10%. For the latest iPhone 15 inches series, the top-of-the-line model has been increased from the previous price of 159,800 yen to 175,800 yen. The price hike is believed to reflect the impact of the rapid yen depreciation. With the dollar-yen exchange rate trading above the 150 yen level, the measure is considered necessary to maintain profitability in the Japanese market. While Apple decided to keep prices unchanged in the United States last month, it has proceeded with price increases in major Asian markets, including Japan. There are concerns about the impact on consumer purchasing power, while some industry observers point out that this could accelerate price increases across the broader smartphone market. Exploratory excavation begins on southern Taiwan coast to search for remains of Pacific War casualties. An exploratory excavation survey has begun on a southern Taiwan coast starting on the 20th to search for the remains of those who died in waters off Taiwan during the Pacific War. According to historical records, many bodies washed ashore at this coastal location during the war due to sunken vessels. Because Taiwan currently has no diplomatic relations with Japan, efforts by the Japanese government to recover the remains have been insufficient. This survey marks an important step toward identifying the remains of long-neglected war casualties and ensuring their proper burial. Expert researchers will conduct stratigraphic surveys and artifact collection during the investigation, aiming to confirm the presence of remains and determine their historical period. Nearly 80 years after the end of World War II, efforts are underway to preserve historical heritage and pay tribute to those who died in the war. U.S. carries out ninth consecutive day of attacks on Iran. Reports also indicate additional fighter jet deployment to Middle East. The U.S. military announced on the morning of the 20th Japan time that it has carried out attacks on Iran for the ninth consecutive day since the 11th of this month. These operations were conducted as part of military operations in the Middle East region, with multiple facilities targeted. Additionally, there are reports that the U.S. government is deploying additional fighter jets and other military equipment to the Middle East, with the military presence in the region being rapidly strengthened. This series of moves risks further escalating U.S.-Iran tensions, and experts are expressing concern about a further intensification of the situation in the Middle East. President Putin meets with North Korea's foreign minister, expected to discuss Ukraine. Russian President Putin held talks with North Korea's Foreign Minister Cho Sun-wei in Moscow on the 19th. The two countries confirmed their security cooperation and are believed to have discussed strengthening future collaboration. The talks are also thought to have included an exchange of views on the situation in Ukraine, which is reportedly at a stalemate. Russia is believed to be seeking to strengthen its international position by advancing relationship building with North Korea. Spain wins World Cup for second time, defeating Argentina 1-0 in extra time in final. Phil McNulty, chief soccer correspondent, New York, New Jersey Stadium. The men's FIFA World Cup held in North and Central America concluded with a final on the 19th, 20th Japan time, at New York, New Jersey Stadium in the United States, where Spain defeated Argentina 1-0 to claim their second World Cup title. Spain secured a well-deserved victory when forward Ferran Torres scored during extra time, finally breaking through Argentina's resistance despite being reduced to 10 men following a red card. However, the final itself proved to be a disappointing spectacle for a World Cup championship match. European champions Spain created several decisive opportunities throughout the game. Meanwhile, Argentina, the defending champions from the previous tournament, relied primarily on disruptive tactics, and midfielder Enzo Fernandez was sent off just before extra time began. The hero of this match was Spain's Torres. In the first minute of the second half of extra time, substitute forward Nico Williams headed the ball back to the goal area, and Torres unleashed a powerful shot from close range. Argentina goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez was unable to respond, and Torres' brilliant goal stood. As the match progressed, it increasingly took on the character of a war of attrition, delivering disappointing football. Outside the pitch, however, spectacular productions and appearances by superstars captured attention and became a defining characteristic of this World Cup. Andy becomes British Prime Minister. Burnham brings years of political experience. Andy Burnham, who became leader of Britain's ruling Labour Party on the 17th of this month, is set to be sworn in as the 59th British Prime Minister as early as the 20th. This will not be the first time Andrew has lived at 10 Downing Street, the Prime Minister's residence in London. In 1992, Andrew Bonar-Law became the first Andrew to reside at the official residence. However, Burnham will be the first Andy to become the master of 10 Downing Street. Burnham's full name is Andrew Murray Burnham, but as a politician, he has consistently gone by the nickname Andy, the shortened form of Andrew. He even signs official documents as Andy. His political brand is built above all on approachability and familiarity. His campaign slogan, "Vote Andy," has proven successful across numerous elections over many years. Burnham also identifies himself as being from Northern England. This is the first time a Prime Minister has done so since Harold Wilson, who served as Prime Minister from the 1960s through the 1970s.